What up, guys? Welcome to Music Blueprint. I believe today's episode is 23. Somebody might have to fact check me on that. But today I'd like to just give people some encouragement. I know recently in the last couple of weeks, I've just felt super overwhelmed, super stressed. And even a few months ago, I was like, man, why am I in this? Like, why am I doing this? Should I just try something different? And I didn't give up hope. I kept pushing forward because a lot of times I tell myself, what else are you going to do? Like, I could do something else, but like, why? But thank God I did stick through, because then literally a month later, some big things happened. So I've mentioned this before on, I think I shared like a parable early in the podcast when I talked about finances. And there's a parable of a king, and the king is getting a new ring, and he wants something inscribed on the ring. So he gets all of his most intelligent people around him and says, what's something I can put on this ring? And they give all these options. He's like, no. And then he goes to his master servant, who has been his dad's servant, all these, basically a servant within his family for years. And he goes, I need something inscribed on this ring. Do you have any suggestions? He goes, I have something great, but I will get it inscribed, but you can't look at it until you're absolutely needing to. When there's no hope left, look at this. And he goes, okay. So years go by, he has the ring, and his kingdom is under attack. And he basically gets to a point where there's a cliff and there is the enemy, and he can hear the horses starting to surround him. And in that time, he remembers, oh my gosh, I have this ring. This is the time to look at it. And he looks at it, and in the ring, it says, this too shall pass. And not a second later, he can't hear the horses anymore. Nothing's going on around him. And his kingdom is saved. So he goes back to his kingdom, and they're celebrating. We won the war. They have wine and drinks, and they're having the best time of their life. He's laughing, whatever. And then the servant comes up to him and says, look at the ring. And he goes, but I'm not in a dire situation. And he goes, but look at the ring. And he looks at the ring, and it says, this too shall pass. And everything went quiet again. And I think sometimes I read or remember that adage, I think it would be called. But sometimes I think back on it, and sometimes I'm like, that's kind of depressing. Like, there's a happy moment, and now you're like, this too shall pass. But I think what actually the moral of the story is whether times are good or times are bad, the season is going to pass. Things are going to pass, and there's going to be something else following it. And it's really great to remember when you are feeling down and you're feeling like, man, I've done all this work. I've written songs for hundreds of people. I've been in tons of meetings with A&Rs and being rejected. Or for instance, like for me, I'm like, I've been on TV and I got rejected in front of the whole world. But what to remember is that in those times of really dark despair, this too shall pass. It's something else is going to happen. It's not going to be like that forever. Life definitely happens in seasons. Now, some seasons are longer than others, which sucks. But the moment will pass, and something literally totally different, night and day, 180 degrees turnaround will happen after that season is over. So again, I just wanted to give a bit of encouragement. I know it feels like during this pandemic, when is it going to end? When is all this going to be behind us? But just remember, this too shall pass. This is not a moment that's going to be forever, whether you're in your high or your low. And the people that are on their high right now, unfortunately, like, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but This too shall pass. But for the people that are in the depths right now, just remember, you're turning a corner. Things are going to happen. Especially for my people that have been in the industry 7, 8, 9 years. Those are the years that are the hardest, if I'm going to be honest. I'm in that 9-year, almost 10-year mark. And I feel like the last 3 years, I have been so close to getting something big. And then it just gets, the rug gets pulled out from under me. And I've just been so close to getting things, and then they don't happen. And that can be discouraging when that's happening for 2 or 3 years straight. But just remember, it's going to pass. Things are going to happen for you. Great things are going to happen for you. And just stick to what you're doing. Be a hard worker. Connect with people. Be a loving person. And things are going to happen for you. Period. All right. Well, that is the podcast for today. I know it was short and sweet, but I feel like some people just need some encouragement, especially during this time. I know I've needed some encouragement, and people have deposited in me, and it's been helping me get through this whole crazy time we're in. So have a great week and keep pushing forward. This too shall pass. See ya. You got me tripped up in my head.